At Rogers Centre in Toronto, Canada, the Dodgers lost to the Blue Jays 3-4 in the final game of the series. Even so, Shohei Ohtani's performance on the mound still received a lot of praise. He completed a full 6 innings, throwing a total of 96 pitches, allowing for hits, issuing 1 walk, recording 2 strikeouts, and giving up only 1 run. However, that run was unearned, so officially, Ohtani still kept his ERA at 0-0-0. After his previous outing against Cleveland, this was Ohtani's second consecutive game pitching at least 6 innings. This shows that he has not only returned to his role as a pitcher, but is also maintaining a very high level of consistency in both stamina and effectiveness. The only run charged to Ohtani came in the 3rd inning. The sequence began with a walk, then the Dodgers catcher made a fielding error that allowed the runner to move into scoring position. Next, Ohtani gave up a hit that brought in a run for the Blue Jays. Even so, because the run was connected to a defensive mistake by his own team, it was not counted as an earned run against him. Offensively, the Dodgers also had moments when they supported their starting pitcher at just the right time. The team tied the game in the 4th inning, then took the lead in the 6th, and added another run in the 7th, to extend the advantage to 3-1. Because of that, when Ohtani left the mound, he was in line for the win, and everything seemed to be going in a very favorable direction for him. However, a serious incident directly involving Ohtani then occurred. According to reports, as Ohtani was leaving the mound area and heading back to the dugout in a focused state, he was suddenly approached by 2 Blue Jays players, George Springer and Andres Gimenez. At first, the incident was limited to words being exchanged, but the content was clearly aggressive. The 2 not only criticized Ohtani's performance, but also implied that what he showed on the mound had signs of cheating. What is notable is that the situation did not stop at a verbal argument. As Ohtani continued moving, Springer and Gimenez suddenly shoved him directly, causing him to lose his balance and fall to the field to the shock of everyone around. The Dodgers' reaction came almost immediately. The nearest players, such as Kyle Tucker and Will Smith, rushed over at once to protect their teammate, forming a shield around Ohtani. However, the Blue Jays still showed no sign of stopping, causing the situation to quickly escalate into a team-wide confrontation. Within just a few seconds, players from both teams flooded into the area of contact, turning the incident into a large-scale brawl with multiple smaller flashpoints breaking out across the field. The umpiring crew and security personnel were forced to intervene urgently to separate the players and control the situation. This process went on in an extremely tense atmosphere, as emotions on both sides had been pushed very high after a rapid sequence of events. As a result, the game was not only interrupted, but also completely lost its original rhythm. Speaking after the game, manager Dave Roberts did not hide his anger. He emphasized that such behavior goes completely against the spirit of sportsmanship and has no place in top-level baseball. Roberts' words were not only meant to protect his player, but also to send a clear message about the limits that teams are not allowed to cross. In the clubhouse, the Dodgers' unity was also shown clearly. Kyle Tucker affirmed that the whole team would stand behind Ohtani, not only emotionally, but also in how they respond to behavior seen as disrespectful. This shows that Ohtani's role lies not only in his expertise, but also in being a central unifying figure within the team. On forums and social media, criticism spread quickly. Many opinions suggested that the actions of the Blue Jays players reflected a loss of emotional control while facing a star with as much influence as Ohtani. Some experts even said that psychological factors, including pressure and frustration over the opponent's form, may have been the deeper cause behind this behavior. From a broader perspective, the incident does not stop at being a single scuffle. It raises a major question about the boundary between fierce competition and unsportsmanlike conduct in high-level games like the World Series. When the pressure to win reaches its peak, emotional control becomes a key factor, and any overstepping of the line can lead to serious consequences. In that context, the way Ohtani handled the situation highlighted his class even more. He did not respond with violence, did not let emotion control him, and chose instead to stay calm and focused on the game. That not only helped ease some of the tension on the field, but also reinforced his image as an MLB legend. However, the rest of the game did not follow the script the Dodgers wanted. The team's bullpen could not protect the lead. In the seventh inning, Jack Dreyer came in and allowed the tying run, making it 3-3. Then in the eighth, the Dodgers gave up another decisive run, completely losing control of the game, and ultimately having to accept a 3-4 comeback loss. Because of that, Ohtani's next win of the season was once again denied, even though he had done his job very well. At the batter's box, Ohtani did not have a truly standout day offensively. He finished the game with 3 official at-bats and no hits, while also drawing 1 walk and being hit by a pitch once. With that result, his season batting average dipped slightly to 0-167. After the game, Ohtani reflected on his performance in a very calm and straightforward manner. According to a local newspaper, he said that in terms of game feel and the overall quality of his pitches, this was not truly a good game. However, what he saw as positive was that he was still able to fulfill the role of a starting pitcher, stay on the mound, and complete the number of innings the team needed from him. Ohtani also said that physically he felt there was nothing seriously concerning. Even so, what left him unsatisfied was his feel for pitching itself. He admitted that he did not have a truly good feeling when releasing the ball, and that was what left the superstar most dissatisfied after this game. In addition, Ohtani also mentioned fatigue caused by a long road schedule. Having to travel constantly clearly had a certain effect on his rhythm and body feel. Even so, he still viewed it positively, saying that even under those circumstances, he was still able to maintain a stable enough level of pitching to complete his assignment. According to him, that was still something worth acknowledging. ESPN, when quoting these comments from Ohtani, also especially emphasized the concept of pitching feel. In their analysis, what concerned Ohtani after the game was not the stat line or the outward result, but the true sharpness and completeness of each pitch. That shows he is judging himself by a very high standard. Even though the result on paper was almost too good, he still prioritized how things actually felt and the degree of technical refinement. In fact, if you look only at the numbers, this was almost an ideal outing. Ohtani pitched deep into the game, limited the damage, and continued to maintain excellent numbers. But for Ohtani, those numbers still were not enough to say that everything had truly been perfect. The fact that Ohtani emphasized his game feel shows that after his second outing of the season, he still sees himself as being in the process of refining things, rather than already having reached his best form. That also reflects very clearly Ohtani's approach to his profession. He is not easily satisfied just because the numbers look good, but always reviews whether his feel was truly right, whether his pitches were sharp enough, and whether he was in his best possible condition. That strict self-evaluation is the reason Ohtani has been able to maintain such a high level for a long time. For the Dodgers, this loss also ended the team's 5-game winning streak. After the game, their record stood at 9 wins and 3 losses. Even so, for Ohtani personally, what likely remained after this outing was not whether the team won or lost, but the feeling that he could still pitch even better. And for a player who is always looking toward a higher standard like Ohtani, that is both something notable and something to look forward to in his next outings. That's the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Be sure to follow the channel, turn on notifications, and share this video with the biggest MLB fan you know.